This is a podcast interview with lottery winner Ric Wallace.
Are you listening?
This is a podcast interview with Ric Wallace, who has won multiple lottery prizes, including a dream home. You may have seen him on national television. He is known as the Squirrel Millionaire. He's very much into the power of visualization and following intuition, but he also considers himself to be a luckologist. You're going to want to watch to the end of the interview where I got to ask his opinion about the quickest way to bring luck into your life. And his answer was very, very fascinating. Without further ado, let's get to it now. Here is my podcast interview with lottery winner Ric Wallace. So I'm here with multiple time lottery winner and known as the Squirrel Millionaire. And he has won a dream home and a number of prizes, but his story is absolutely fascinating. I'm so excited to welcome Ric Wallace to the show. Ric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm actually talking to you live from White Rock Beach, British Columbia, Canada. A. Canadians like to use the word A.
For people that aren't yet familiar with your story, what have you won and how did that happen?
Okay, my probably my biggest claim to fame is winning a dream home, but that is just sort of the tip of the iceberg. Ever since I've been a kid, I have considered myself a money magnet. Even as a young kid, I was finding money, and I was accused of stealing it from someone else. Well, one time when I was a kid, we were riding our bicycles over to the little corner store, and I saw all this money blowing around the parking lot. So I jumped off the bicycle, and I'm grabbing up all these bills. And then when I got home, I was sort of accused of stealing money. So then, I said, look, I found it. And the neighbor who was riding on the back of my bicycle, he saw it. So my mother called the neighbor's kid over for an interrogation. And he validated, he saw me jump off the bicycle, and I found all this money, and I brought it home. So I actually learned at a young age, sometimes you're too lucky, you better keep your mouth shut.
And you consider yourself a luckologist, and I really want to get into luck, but this a little bit in the interview. But this dream home that you won, that was over $775,000, I was reading, but in 2004. So how did that happen? Because this is a big deal. You got on national television, and a lot of serendipitous things happened before you won. But what happened?
This story really started in 1995. Some good friends told me about these white squirrels in Exeter, Ontario. And I thought it was a joke. And Jim says, I got this picture of a squirrel. I thought it was a joke. So we actually drove up there. I photographed these squirrels. And I thought, this is cool. I'd never seen a white squirrel. And when something is rare, people associate it with luck. So I made up some fridge magnets, and I made up a little greeting card printed on an inkjet printer. It says, if you see white squirrels, you're not nuts. You open it up, it says you're in Exeter, Ontario. So I made all these souvenirs up. And I put all my stuff on the counter, and I thought I would approach this with a consignment aspect. So after seeing this stuff, he says, I'm sorry, we don't do consignment here. So he says, how much do you want for all this stuff? So I added it up, and I said, I need a tax certificate. So I left Exeter that day with three $20 bills, $60 Canadian. And then that has since turned into over $10 million in business and wins for me and other people. Speeding up to, I think it was April 2002, I had a ticket on Lottomax. And I thought, geez, I don't want to lose my potentially winning tickets. And I put it on a filing cabinet with a magnet. Following the draw, I got 5 out of 7. So that paid $147.60. I thought, hey, this is cool. So I thought a couple of weeks later, I'm going to try this again to see if I can duplicate what I did before. So I got 5 $2 plays. And I got 6 out of 7. So that paid $2,408. The very next day, I was in Point Edward Casino. I was only playing 5-cent slots. So within about maybe 5-10 minutes, I had 3,200 nickels. So that's $160. So then I thought, well, geez, I've had 2 lottery wins and I've had a casino wins. So I gave myself a 2-year wealth luck action plan of a bunch of little wins leading up to a big one. Christmas Eve, this would be 2003. And I went to pick up my wife at work. I could smell a burning smell. And then when I got in front of where she worked, the car went dead. So Christmas Eve, I'm thinking, geez, how much is this going to cost? Something burning, smelling, the car not working. That's going to be a lot of money. So I went over to the 7-Eleven across the street, and I think the Lotto Max was $1 at the time. So I think I bought 5 or 6 tickets. And I said, I really need to win the lottery because I do not know how much this is going to cost. So, okay, so Christmas morning, just before we head out to go down to Windsor, I checked my ticket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, the 6 number was on the second row. That paid $1,419.50. Okay, so when we got the car fixed, that was the money I needed. December 1st, 2002, we had a bad snowstorm. And then I looked up and we had a big snowdrift on the roof. So I thought, preventative maintenance, I better get that off there. So I grabbed the ladder, I put it on the deck, and I thought the snow was adhered, bound to the deck. Okay, when I got to the top step, the ladder gave way. So I fell 15 feet. So we went up to the hospital and they reset it, and then the bones came apart. So then they had to operate, and they put 3 long pins. They used, like when I'm in the operating room, using a drill, this is Black & Decker drill, and they put these 3 long pins in it. I had, I think, 3 or 4 casts, and then when they took the cast off, I was going through extensive therapy. Going through this extensive therapy, it took me 9 months before I could open up a can of soup with a manual can opener. And I thought, geez,
ouch.
They were having a hospital lottery, right, which they're giving away a dream home. So I thought, wouldn't it be a neat story if someone who they helped won the lottery? And with the dream home they were giving away, it included a hot tub. Then I became really fixated on this. So it was, some people have a premonition where a vision comes to them, play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, and they play it and they win the lottery. This lottery, it was, they give you a ticket. You didn't have no control. They give you a ticket stub, and then they will process it and you get a number. So there was no magical thing of picking the number. So I thought, well, wouldn't this be neat if we won this house? So then I start visualizing this house. So we actually had gone to the house. We were playing a little game. We went there twice, and we could actually draw the whole layout. Give me a piece of paper and I could draw the whole layout of the house. I was actually telling people that I'm going to win the lottery. The second time I went to the dream home, I said, I need to know, where are you drawing the ticket? The ticket was going to be drawn in the dream home. It was going to be drawn in the garage, and they said it was going to be on the right side, not the left side. The bin where all the tickets were going to be on the right side. So in my dreams, what I did is I moved all our belongings from our old house. I moved them to the right side of the garage from floor to ceiling. To me, in my mind, they had no other choice than to pull my ticket because that was all my stuff. Okay. So, and actually I had visioned this. It wasn't a matter that, oh, I foresaw something. This was something that I created. Okay. Where, to me, it's like this was a projected one. So I actually had lived this whole experience. And so when they did call, it was just like, it was like a replay. It was like a rerun. I had already lived the experience. So it was just like a repeat. The long weekend before the May 31st win, we worked all day on Saturday. I was telling my wife that I said, we're gonna win the house. And I said, when they call me, I'm gonna say, did I win the hot tub? Because the hot tub came with the house. Okay. So she was just sort of ignoring me. So then after we did all this work Saturday night, my family has a superstition, itchy left hand, it's a sign of money, right? My left hand was red from scratching. Now, different cultures, some say right, some say it's left, but for my ancestry, left hand is the sign of unexpected wealth. So my hand was bright red. And so then on Sunday, I was talking to my wife and I said, I'm gonna say that I win the hot tub. And she said to me on Sunday, well, don't say that, you'll sound stupid. Now I'm thinking, okay, she's starting to believe me, right? And then also, I cut my hair on Sunday. I said, oh, I want to look good for, when I'm on the media on tomorrow morning.
Before you won?
The day that I won. So then, okay, so I'm working on the computer, and I think it might be around 10:30 a.m. The phone rings, and it says block number. Okay, so you're calling me, you got a block number, you don't want to identify who you are. I didn't answer it. Okay, I just ignored the call. If it's important, you leave a message, I'll call you back. Okay, so maybe a few seconds later, under a minute later, I get a private number to my cell phone. A handful of people had that number. So I thought, geez, I better answer this. So I think the gentleman, I think his name was Bob, so-and-so from London Health Sciences, are you sitting down? And guess what I said? Did I win the hot tub? And then he was sort of like startled, like, what do you mean hot tub? Like, I said, well, the hot tub comes with the dream home. They said, yes, you won it, right? And then so that, my legs were starting to shake. Can you come make it out to the house today or whatever? So yeah, I can, pick up the wife and all this. And I said, give me an hour or so. So then I called my wife at work, and I said to her, I said, what did I tell you we're going to win? Dead silence on the phone. She said, the house. And I said, yes, we won the house. You're joking. I said, no, we won the house. I said, tell your boss you're going to need the day off because they want to have us on the news. Okay. So I said, I'll be there maybe in an hour or so to pick you up. But I said, you're going to need the day off. Okay. So then I walked back over to the 7-Eleven, and I walked in and I said, hey, I won the house. Like I was there an hour before. I said, today's the day I win the house. And,
how did they react?
well, Sharon just, they're just sort of looking at me. Okay, you're pulling my leg. And then I talked to the manager, George, and I said, George, I won the house. I won the house. And he's going, sure you did. Sure you did. And I said, look, you're going to see me on the news at 6 and 11 today. I said, I'll be on TV. Right. So I said, hey, I told you I was going to win. So then I finally picked up my wife, and I brought my ticket. I didn't know how this works. Like I didn't, if you claim a lottery win like Powerball, Megabins, Lotomax, you need your physical ticket, and they're going to examine everything. So, but with this lottery, because all your information is taken, you didn't even need the ticket. But I didn't know how this was going to work. So I thought, well, I better stop by Green Hills Pharmacy just around the corner from the Dream Home to make a photocopy, because this was my 2-year wealth luck action plan. So I went in, I saw Cindy. She was talking to a customer, and I said, oh, Cindy, I'm here for the job. She said, what job? I said, doing drug runs for Green Hills. And she's looking at, I said, I told you I was going to win. I said, I've got to make money to pay the taxes. And I said, it'd be perfect using the Miata. And she's looking at me like, you're nuts. And the customer said that she was talking to, he says, what's your name? I said, Ric Wallace. He says, that's the guy that won the Dream Home. Right. So I'm in the pharmacy. My cell phone rings. And this is the hospital lottery people saying, well, look, are you coming or not? Because if not, the news are all going to be leaving. Okay. So I said, oh, no, we're just around the corner. We just had to make a stop. So then we came there. So when I came there, I walk up, who is this guy? So now they were ecstatic that it was actually someone that had helped. And when I was talking to the local news station, I said, I was on your news in December about ladder safety. Right. So when they had taken the cast off, we actually did a feature to, the hospital there to help about ladder safety. People fall off ladders at Christmas lights. So they were excited that they had video footage of a guy going through therapy and all that. So that was really cool. So they did sort of a really cool story. And then the newspaper was going to be doing their story. So if you win the lottery, how do you scare away the nutcases? Act like one yourself. Okay.
That is funny. So you told all of these people that you were going to win, very specific details of all these people, and with the house and what you were going to say with the hot tub. Did I win the hot tub? And then this happened. So how did this feel to you? Was this surreal? I mean, how did this feel for you when this actually happened?
Okay. Okay. When this happened, yeah, it was surreal. It was exciting. Okay. Now, I seriously thought I was going to be arrested, right? And you're going to say, why would you be arrested? I was telling people that I was going to win, right? And I won. And it wasn't until that I saw the video where they had the drum, they turned it, and they had the one official from the hospital.
So there's a drum where they choose the winner from?
Yeah, they had all the ticket stubs. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they actually, had I not, for me, I thought, geez, I'm going to be arrested. They're going to say, oh, this seems sort of funny. Like this guy's telling all he knew, and it's fixed. But I saw the video, and I have a copy of it, where the official from the hospital lottery had put his hand like this into the bin, right? Not with his hand with a little piece of paper here. His hand like this into the bin, short sleeve, and then he pulled out my ticket. Okay, so until I saw that, I thought, geez, my heart was just racing a mile a minute. Right. So this was, this was quite a bit of excitement. But I actually had used one of my lucky black squirrel pins to hold the winning ticket on a corkboard in my office. So I was actually looking at that ticket every day. The first 2 wins that I had in 2002, I was using a white squirrel magnet. Now, a lot of lottery players, I watched one where the couple had their ticket in the garbage can in the car. I know a lot of stories where people lose their tickets. So the idea of a lottery charm to hold your ticket on like on a fridge or a magnet, there's no mystical magical powers. But if you lose your ticket, you can't claim it.
And you sell these squirrel pins now, don't you?
Yeah, so I have the white squirrel pins and the black squirrel pins. When the news got out about the black squirrel pins, I was doing about $300 a day online. Like people were buying these like crazy. So, and the thing is, people were buying these and they were using they were pulling the pin off the back of a piece of pliers and they were using it for scratch tickets. So for me, I sort of was offended that they were defacing my beautiful pin. So I thought, well, I took the image and I actually made a coin. So I was actually thinking of, okay, so I have this coin and it has a sense of humor. I've got a good sense of humor that I was going to include a little instruction manual of how to use a lucky coin. Okay, that is stupid, right? Right. So I thought, okay, a little tiny manual how to use a lucky coin. So that actually turned into a book, 21 lucky lottery tickets. And I thought, okay, here's another gamble. I checked the trademark website and in Canada, and no one had registered lucky coin. So I applied to have lucky coin as a trademark. And I thought, okay, there's no way in heck this is going to go through. So I put down $250 filing fee. And it went through these 4 or 5 stages, and that was granted as a trademark. So I thought, hey, so to me, that's another lottery win.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned at the beginning that you turned not very much money at all into millions.
Yeah, well, because for me and other people, like because of the white squirrel, which led to the black squirrels. I've had some people that have had substantial wins. One person wanted 10% of my sales to use her name. Okay, so I'm not using anybody's name. Oh, I have a free publication. It's called the Lotto Dream ebook, which is found at lottodreamebook.com. You can Google it. And I've actually put together a book of basically what I do. But in there's a story of there's a person that contacted me a couple of years back in August saying, hey, I bought one of your squirrel pins and I got second prize on Lotto Max. Okay, I thought, okay, this is somebody pulling my leg. Okay, so it turned out, so I went back, I found his name. He actually had an order, I think it was March 23rd of that year. And I did a search and on the lottery corporation, the lottery corporation for the jurisdiction he lives, I actually downloaded a PDF showing him that he had won 409,000. So he basically tried to duplicate what I did. And he had like a bulletin board in his office and he put his ticket and used a squirrel pin. He tried to duplicate what I did, and he got second prize. Now that's not like hundreds of millions of dollars, but
yeah, that's still incredible. So you've been featured in media, probably all around the world. I know you've been on My Lottery, Dream Home, and some other places. But after this initial win, you were as well. What is it like, in your opinion, to be in the spotlight after winning the lottery? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the show it was not My Lottery Dream Home.
It was Lottery Changed My Life. Excuse me.
It really changed my life. So
Yeah.
you're gonna love this story. We got some Chinese takeout, and I always like reading my fortune cookies. And we got a fortune cookie, and mine said a golden opportunity will arrive shortly. Is shortly 3 months? Is it a few years? Is it days? Right? 14 hours later, I get an email from Washington, D.C., and it was the company that did the filming for TLC's The Lottery Changed My Life. And I'd never heard of them. We didn't have the extra TV channel, so they wanted to do a feature. Okay, so I contacted some people that I wanted to see what the show's about. It turned out to be legit. Now, there have been many people that have won way more money than I have, like the guy that won 50 million on Lotto Max. I was the first. You can't take that away from me. Right. So as I said, with the media attention, it has been good. And then the one time I was sort of taking stock of what I've done, and I said to my wife, what haven't I done? I've been on newspapers, I've been on radio, I've been on TV. I said, I haven't been in a tabloid. I need to be in a tabloid. Okay. So I'm thinking, with the tabloids, we all know the crap they put out of the grocery stores. And I said, they can say whatever they want. I said, it's just, that was a goal. I wanted to be in a tabloid. The very next morning, I get an email from our publishing, the people that do Woman's World magazine, saying they were doing a feature on lottery winners and about maybe increasing the odds, boosting your luck for the lottery. So they had contacted. So they did a feature on me. A few years later, I get an email from the publisher, the paper there, and her name was Christina. And I contacted her on her cell phone. I said, Christina, I said, I think your email's been hacked. I said, I got the exact same email you sent me years ago. Oh, no, we're doing another feature. So I've been in that magazine twice. They did a show on me in May. It aired the same week that I was in every checkout throughout North America. So I was on TV in Vancouver and all through BC, and I was through every checkout. So to me, that's just sort of a feather in my cap. Now, another time I was at the beach, set up. I'm an artist here. I sell photos, magnets, and other cool stuff, souvenirs. And I'm thinking, I need to get back in the media. Okay. So basically, I had a vision. I didn't know what it was. And then guess who called me? You.
Yeah. Wow.
So then I was busy with a bunch of stuff. I had to do this. I have to do that. There's not enough hours in the day. And I was actually working on a response to your email. And then you called, and I knew it was you.
Yeah, I remembered when I called you, you knew that it was me. I don't know if you expected the call or not, but you just hello Timothy, or you knew it was me right away. And that I was kind of taken aback as in a positive way. It's like, oh my gosh, he knew I was calling.
Usually when I try to work with someone, I need to get in their head, get inside their head to figure out how they're thinking. If I know how you're thinking in a wrong, negative way, okay, we need to correct this. I've made connections with people. I can't always read. What's in your head. But sometimes, if there's a thought in my head that it's not mine, okay, then it can blow people away.
So would you say that you are psychic?
Okay. For me, I subscribe to a lot of philosophies. I've known some people that are gifted with astrology. We had an aunt. Her name was Aunt Gertie. We went to see my grandparents at one time, and just standing in the doorway, this old lady, she could tell you your sign and all this stuff, and it just blew you away with what she could tell you. But my grandmother had a neighbor. She was a psychic. This lady, she was doing it since she was 13 years old. She's even had siblings of prime ministers of Canada come to see her. Some of the people in the high levels of government, some of the people with the major banks would come to see this lady. Now, this lady was truly gifted. She had told me many things. And one thing, I was looking at dealing with someone in a business sense, and I just took a picture of the person, put it on the table. I said, "What can you tell me about this?" Now, she was someone that could read faces. She told me a lot of stuff about his business, health, and then also about his second wife. He's going to be married a third time. And a lot of stuff. So he was basically saying this is a person you don't want to deal with. She could read faces. She did other stuff. She used a regular deck of playing cards. Now this lady had told me that she said, "You're going to publish a book." It's just a book, and I'm thinking, okay, English, grammar. I just skimmed by in high school. They were the works. I excelled in math and drafting and woodwork and other stuff. But yeah, so that's some of the. But the idea of you're going to publish a book, that's sort of stuck with me.
Well, we will put links to your books and your squirrel pens and all of this below, and I know people are going to want to check that out. So I know a lot of people are also curious. You envisioned this house and a lot of things in your life that have come true. I mean, how does this work? How is this manifesting, for lack of a better word, into something that's real?
Okay, I'm a photographer, photo snapper by trade. Okay, I see the world in pictures. Okay, this is something, if someone wants to win the lottery, I'd recommend you go to the dollar store and buy one of these. What's this? It's a magnifying glass. You can take the rays from the sun, you can focus the beam, you can create heat, you can create fire. So in a sense, what I'm doing with my dreams, it's like I am focusing energy. Okay, light is energy. Okay, so the idea of focusing the energy. Now, here's a picture that I can paint for you. There have been many documented stories. There is a family member in the hospital, right, on their deathbed. that maybe have a religious belief, and they'll have 15, 20 people in the room staring at the person that's on their deathbed. And whether these people are praying, they're in their thoughts, and then somehow the person walks away and leaves the hospital, and the doctors are baffled what is going on. So to me, it's what I do. It's a matter of, like, say, focusing energy. Okay, so sometimes you're going on a certain path, you need to make a change, and if you don't make a change, well, then maybe something's going to negative's going to happen, and then it sort of brings you in the direction that you want to go. So the idea of focusing energy. I joined a computer club, and we went to the one computer club, and they were giving away CorelDRAW. I think it came with that version of software came with 14 floppy disks. I thought, okay, if I win this, people are going to break my legs. They're going to say, oh, this is fixed. Okay. So when we went over, I was telling everybody my wife was going to win tonight, not me. My wife was going to win. So I was actually focusing my energies of the stuff going to her. So we go to the meeting. We got there early because we wanted to win this. So she had ticket number 1, I had ticket number 2, and then they gave out these other numbers. So after the little spiel and all the fanfare of how great this software is, they drew a number. They said, okay, the winner is number 1. So they're saying, okay, number 1, and nobody responded, right? And then they said, well, who has number 1? Someone signed in. She put her hand up. Okay, so it was my wife. It wasn't me. To me, I projected the win on her.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Right, so that everybody's saying, oh, this is fixed. This is fixed. It wasn't fixed, right? So that is a really good example of, like, being able to project it onto someone else. Just like I said, the individual in the hospital on their deathbed, and people are focusing their energies, and the person gets better.
That's so interesting. So what is luck in your opinion? Is there any coincidence if for people that win anything? I mean, what in your opinion, what is luck? Because you consider yourself a luckologist, and it's a really interesting topic, but what is luck?
Okay. To me, luck is about attitude. Okay, it's attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, I don't think you're going to win. Okay, if you're a person that says, "Oh, I'm never going to win the lottery. I'm never going to win the lottery," why are you wasting money on lottery tickets? Okay, sometimes I've bought a ticket and I've asked, like, for a record of last transaction, or I want a receipt, and I've had a lottery retailer. Oh, what do you expect to win? Why do you think I'm buying the ticket? Right now, the thing about I do not win on every ticket that I buy. Okay, if you're playing the lottery. If you're going to put $20 on the lottery, or $5 or $2, if it's paper money, you should be willing to take a lighter and burn that $20 bill, right? There's a good chance you're going to lose it, right? But it's just like if you drive a car, right? You're driving a car, and then you went over a bump, and you had your rack and pinion steering. You have to get an alignment. It costs you $500-$600. You don't give up driving your car. You need your car to go to work, right? Or you're driving, and then a stone hits your windshield. Oh, you have a $300 deductible. Or just because you've lost your windshield, you don't give up. So it's also persistence, right? You don't have to play all the lotteries. I like to tell people, maybe pick 1 or 2 and focus, right? Focus. A lot of people don't play the lotteries until the jackpots are up. Now, when the jackpots are high, the odds of the numbers coming up do not change, but the odds of someone winning, with more people buying tickets, it does sort of make it work against you.
And you are really into numerology. I was reading, so you're very into numbers. How does that play into winning and into luck, into your life experience, numerology? Okay,
so. Tied to that is like the luckology, and some people ask me, what are you? I'm a luckologist. The idea of a luckology, to me, it's sort of like what a weather forecaster is. And I believe that in life, you have patterns that seem to be appearing. Like, I know here, certain times of year, it's the best time for a sunrise, sunset. So for me, I've also found, like, if you look back at your life, I believe if you look at the past, you can somehow guide your future, right? So for me, I found that from October to December has always been a very lucky um, time for me. Okay, and for many years when I got to college, I actually had won the lottery, different lotteries, playing different ones. 13 draws straight. I paid off all my student. Okay, that wasn't millions of dollars, but it was a small step. The concept of luck, it's also like, attitude. Many people consider luck to be totally random. Okay, for me and other people that know me, they know it's not random for me, right? So, and it's also looking about opportunity, right? So the dream home that we won, it was a guaranteed prize payout. And what that means, okay, they sell all these tickets on the lottery that we had. They didn't sell out, so that means the odds were a little better. There were tickets unsold. Those unsold tickets had no chance of winning. Only the ones that were sold and put in the drum. Sometimes you have like I think it was your Mega Millions or Powerball. You had one like $1.6 billion, which is a lot of money. But they sell all these tickets, and nobody won the top prize, which means, okay, you can try again next week. To me, I think we have too many lotteries here. Like, we've got draws and stuff every day. I used to like it when it was a lottery called Super 7. And I talked to a lot of lottery players. It was only $2, and it was only drawn on Fridays. Okay, so if they were to bring that back at $2, not $5, like other lotteries we have now, if they were to bring that back at $2 on Fridays, that'd probably be the only lottery.
Yeah, and with taxes, when you won this home and these other prizes, so that's not taxed in Canada, is that right?
Okay, lottery wins in Canada are tax-free. Any money interest you earn are taxable. Now, prior to the win on the house, every year when the government is doing their budget, they've always dangled this little carrot in front of Joe Public and saying, "Oh, we're gonna be taxing lottery wins," and then people get all upset, and then we get the money from elsewhere. But they were seriously considering of taxing like these dream homes if you won one, and I was really getting pissed off. Like I said, I don't want to lose 20, 30, whatever they lose there. I was getting really ticked off. So that was more the need to win the lottery. Now, the dream home that we won, it did not have a cash offer. Okay, so we had to take the prize as awarded. Where now what they're doing, okay, they dangle these big houses, or you can take X number of dollars. Like, some of the ones here, 2.7 million cash. If you were to buy one of these tickets and you were to win, I would highly recommend you get the ticket.
Yeah. Do you believe in accidents?
We all have troubles in life, whether it's money, finances, health, or whatever. But if you think of a wave in the ocean, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Being a luckologist, for me, I said, looking back at my life, I've seen patterns. Things seem to happen in threes. Now, some people that subscribe to religion will say, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or Holy Spirit. But things seem to happen in threes. So for me, I could have three good things, and then I look to see what the fourth one. If it's good, then that means there's going to be 6 good things. Sometimes it could be 9 good things. But to me, I've looked back, and it seems 3 good, maybe another 3 good, or 3 bad. So sometimes, if you've had 2 bad things happen, okay, 1 more, and then maybe you're on the next one. Okay, so as I said, looking back at the different times in my life, October to December seems to be good, and I'm talking to you in October. But that was the pattern I saw in my life ever since I was young. Now, for me, when we won the dream home in May, and so I now have 2 luck periods. So going back to the idea of my 2-year wealth action plan, I had formalized lotterycharms.com as a trademark, which means I paid the $250. That was on May 30th, 2002. So I had a 2-year wealth luck action plan of a bunch of little wins leading to a big one, just like tremors before a big earthquake. Okay, I'm living on the West Coast. That's maybe not a good thing to say. And I had no idea where the big win was going to come from. So we won the house. Okay, so we won the house May 31st, 2004. So my 2-year goal, we missed it by 1 day. But if you take in consideration, we had a leap year, I hit the nail on the head. Now, whether or not you say I hit it or missed it by a day, Who cares? We want a house.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's incredible. So numerology has played substantial role in your life and how you perceive the world.
Yeah, as I said, being a luckologist and looking back on the past, the things that have happened, I've noticed a pattern. Now, if you look up numerology, find out what your life path is. My life path is a 6. My wife is a 4. 6 and 4 together adds up to 10. Okay, now this is some stuff that'll blow your mind away. We won the 10th dream home that the City of London, the London Health Sciences had given away. When they featured me on the paper, big full-page ad saying how lucky I am, I was on page D10. Okay, the local TV station was Channel 10. We were thinking, okay, well, living in a big dream home, that was a goal. Okay, fine, I did that. It's on a bucket list. So we decided, okay, we're gonna move west. We've never been west of Ontario. I've been out to the East Coast. I've been up to James Bay, up near Hudson Bay. We decided, okay, fine, we're getting out of here. So we worked on our plan. We started getting rid of a lot of the belongings, right? So we had the house ready. We listed on a Thursday. First person on Saturday bought. So by the time we got to Tofino, which is the most westerly part of Canada, we typed in the old house address that we had just sold, and it was 5,500 kilometers away. Okay, so there's a 10. Add up those two numbers. So then we started heading our way back. Okay, but okay, so we've moved to a 604 area code. Adds up to 10. The house address adds up to 10. The GPS coordinates of the house adds up to 10. Now, something that before we left, I had a vision in my head. When we left Ontario, something kept coming in my mind. Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. When we got out to Victoria on the island, it was nice, but it's $200 anytime you want to leave the island and come back. And I just thought, okay, Victoria is not very good. I actually had purchased a Magic Jack, and I had a 250 Victoria number, so I could plug in the computer and I could make phone calls. So our short-term accommodations in White Rock, you'll never guess what the street was, Victoria Ave. Mm. Okay, so I did not move to Victoria, BC. I moved to Victoria Ave in White Rock. So as I said, I had a premonition. I didn't know exactly what it was. For me, I would say I'm sort of more intuitive with things, right? So, and sometimes we've had some negative things, but it's sometimes being intuitive. Now, you're going to love this. When I got to White Rock, we wanted to put up a website so family and friends out east could see what White Rock Beach is about. When you come to the waterfront, the signs at the waterfront says, "Welcome to White Rock Beach, Pier and Promenade." So I went back to the apartment. I typed in White Rock Beach.ca was available. $10.45, 11 years ago, one click at the most. A lady who worked for the city on council said, "How the beat did you get that? The city should." I also have whiterockbeer.ca. But yeah, so it's being in tune. And like some people out here, we have people of many religions. I'm not subscribing to any particular religion. I'm saying the universe, Mother Nature, universe.
We are running really kind of short on time here, and there's so much that I want to talk to you about. It's so fascinating, everything that you've been through. But before we go, we will put links to your websites below, but where can people find your books? The Lotto Dream ebook, Lottery Lucky Tips, everything Squirrel, even you're a photographer, you have postcards out there, you have all kinds of things happening. Where's the best place to direct people?
Okay, I would say for some of the products that I sell, luckologist.com or lotteryterms.com, you can see some of my squirrel nonsense, I like to say. whiterockbeach.ca is showing a lot of the postcards, greeting cards. The Lotto Dream ebook, basically it explains basically what I do, and I've given you sheets, what is your plan when you win the lottery? So think of it more like a business plan. There's also some checks you can, dream checks. You can't cash them at the bank, you'll be arrested, okay? But you can fill it out if you want to. You had Cynthia, who did an interview, she won 112 million, she wrote herself a check. So in a sense, what I've done is I put my name and, Lottery Squirrel. You can write yourself a check for whatever you want, put it under your pillow, put it in your wallet. So that's a free publication. You don't have to pay for it. If you, the stuff I sell, there is no mystical, magical powers. It's the belief you put in them. You can pick up a stone, you can find a coin. If you say that's your lucky term, they'll get me in trouble with the cereal company. But if that's your lottery term, you know, that's what is right for you. So those are things. Even you can even Google, is Ric Wallace lucky? You can find. I've been on CBC National Post. It has been exciting, and I actually like what you're doing. How, you know, you've won the lottery, you've won more than I have. Okay, and you've contacted me, you know, which is it's another feather in my cap, right?
Oh. Well,
You know,
I mean, what you've done is remarkable, you know. Also, and your story is so interesting. I'm so grateful for your time. What do you think is the for anyone watching this that is hoping to win the lottery or bring luck in some way into their life? What's the quickest way that someone can do that? Do you think?
okay, a quick way is, you know, you can play some lotteries. Life is about the experiences. Okay, so, you know, if you have bad ones, and also a lot of people live in the past. I live in the future. I live in the present. I have an eye on the future. I'm not living in the future, but I have an eye on the future of the way things should go. I don't believe your path, your course in life is cast in stone. You have the ability to change it. If you don't like something, change it. You know, sometimes if things aren't going that way, maybe the universe will break your arm. If we took out the thing earlier about the white squirrels in 1995, had I not gone to Exeter, Ontario, I have no idea. I definitely would not be talking to you now. I would not be living here on the West Coast.
So I do have to get going, but this video is being released on I believe Walt Disney's birthday, December 5th. So what does that mean to you?
December 5th is Walt Disney's birthday. Okay, what Walt Disney did for the mouse, I'm doing for all the squirrels: white, black, and gray. Okay, we share the same birthday. We share a lot of same traits. And here's another interesting fact: Walt Disney's father was born in Blue Vale, Ontario, minutes away from Exeter, Ontario, where the white squirrels were. So had his father not moved to the States, Walt Disney would have been probably promoting the white squirrels before I was. Okay, so what he's done for the mouse, I'm doing for the squirrels.
Wow. Well, happy birthday to Walt Disney.
Yeah.
We are running kind of short on time, but is there anything else that you wanted to say today, Rick, that I don't know enough to ask, or that you just wanted to say?
Okay, I would say only spend what you're prepared to lose. You know, don't go overboard. The lottery that we won, there was a lady bought 10 $100 tickets, and she got nothing. Okay, we had one ticket, but I wanted to get another ticket, and didn't really have the money, so I went to the slots across the street, took 20, and I converted that into 160. So then I actually had two tickets, one my wife didn't know about, and that's what really stayed out in the story of our win. You know, the big ones are nice, but then there can be a lot of problems. Oh, when we won the lottery, we had we couldn't eat, we couldn't sleep, we dropped 10 pounds.
Oh my gosh!
My heart was racing, and I'm driving around in the Mazda Miata, the top down, and sometimes, and my heart was just screaming. So I actually got a little pulse meter. If my pulse went up over 160, I basically had to stop what I was doing. There was another lady on the east coast of Canada. She won 10 million on Super 7 at the time, and she had a heart attack within a week. And she wanted to just give the money away. She didn't want it. So winning the lottery would be as traumatic as when my grandmother passed away. Okay, so you're going to win the lottery. Can you handle it? Do you really want the 100 million, or would 25, 2,000, 2,500? So as I said, develop a plan. Use a lot of Dream ebook. Put your stuff on paper. A lot of people will put you down like this. So lotteries are a tax on the stupid, right? But if you win, those are the people. Oh, can I have some money? Right? And a lot of winners that I've talked to, that people see them as an ATM machine for the funds.
Did you have people come out of the woodwork?
We did have some people. Someone that had contacted me from kindergarten, right? One kindergarten. Because we won stuff, we didn't really have much. They gave us 25,000 cash, car, and a bunch of other stuff. So it wasn't like they're advertising this amount of money. But I know the thing is, okay, if your name's Bob and you win 100 million, okay, well then you have to treat yourself as Bob's bank. Okay, and relatives, strangers, oh, give me some money so I can start a business. Well, if you're running Bob's Bank, you don't just give money away. You need someone to submit you a business plan. I know some people, oh, if you give me money, I can start a business. If you don't know how to do the money side, the accounting, tracking, it'll put you out of business, right? So if someone is serious, but yeah, so everybody has an opinion, right? Oh, what you should do with the money. Some people that said to us, oh, they should donate the house. Okay, we help the charity by buying the ticket, right? Oh, you won the lottery. Well, I've worked for my money, right? So as I said, there can be some negative thing just because you won the lottery, right? And the jealousy. There's a lot of jealousy. You know, some people are jealous. Oh, you've got a nicer car. You got a nicer looking wife. You've got a better view, right? So you have to, if you win big, you may lose a few friends. You may gain a few friends.
Yeah, you can't let that get you down. But I completely empathize. That happened to me. It happens to a lot of people. Well, Ric Wallace, your story is really, really positive. You have been through so much, and I really, really appreciate your time and for sharing your insights and your experiences here.
And it's a pleasure here, and no, it's cool that you're doing this. You have a lot of potential of what you're doing here, and you doing this as opposed to someone that works at a trash paper, people will trust you more. Right? Okay, you've been there, and yes, there's good side, there's bad side. And the thing is, I also have there's something on one of my websites, the 7 habits of lucky people. You can Google that. So, is Ric Wallace lucky? Google that, and you'll find all sorts of things. Right, but as I said, hats off to you for doing this.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a labor of love, and I'm very passionate about it. But I love meeting people like yourself that have very unique and interesting stories, and it's one of a kind, and it's so fascinating to hear your insights and to hear what you've been through, and other people gain inspiration and knowledge about the universe and life and how things work. It's just very interesting. So I really appreciate your time today. So that was my interview with Ric Wallace. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of this interview? And what are your thoughts on visualization and intuition? I love checking out your comments. There are new videos and interviews coming soon on this channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when they come out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. As always,